So today's opener is just a kind of overall review of what we started talking about last week. Evaluate each expression, and we're going to evaluate each expression by using order of operations, or what we know as PEMDAS. So if we're looking here, our first step, because there's really only 4 steps in order of operations, is going to be solve everything in our grouping symbols. Well, remember, we can have the fraction bar as a grouping symbol. So if that fraction bar is used as a grouping symbol, then we can really look at this problem as having parentheses on the top and the bottom. So what I would do with that is work the top and work the bottom kind of at the same time, do an order of operations for each step. So if I look at my top here, this is a grouping symbol, where do I start with the 7 plus 3 squared? Okay, what's that going to equal? Not 3 times 2, but 3 times 3, which is 9. So then I'm going to bring down my 7 plus 9. And then where would I start on my bottom? Which would equal 16. And then times 2. Okay? So again, because this is my fraction bar represents a grouping symbol, I can work the top and the bottom separately. So I can go ahead and solve the top because it's pretty much like having parentheses around it. So if I solve the top, what's 7 plus 9?
16.
Okay, and then if I solve the bottom, what's 16 times 2? 32. Now, can I take 16 and divide it by 32 to go ahead and simplify it out to get my answer?
Yeah.
I can, and I'm going to get a decimal though, right? And I don't want an answer as a decimal. I don't want my answer as a decimal. I want my answer in fraction form. So if I want my answer in fraction form, what am I going to have to do to 16 over 32?
1 over 2.
Okay, you're going to get 1/2. You're right. But how do you get that? Besides just type in the calculator, 16 over 32 equals what?
Divide 32 by 16.
Okay, so 16 and 32 are both divisible by what?
16.
What if you didn't know that it was divisible by 16? What else could you try?
Plug it in a calculator.
Josh, you said it. By 2s. So if you didn't know that 16 and 32 were both divisible by 16, we know that it's automatically both going to be divisible by 2 because they both end in even numbers here. So what we're going to look at, what's 16 divided by 2? 8. And whatever I do to the top of a fraction, I must do to the bottom as well. So I'm going to take 32 divided by 2. And what do I get for that? 16. Okay? What are 8 and 16 both divisible by? By 4 or by 2? Which one do you want to do? 2? Okay. What's 8 divided by 2? And then if I divide the top by 2, I also have to divide the bottom by 2, my denominator by 2. So what's 16 divided by 2?
8.
Can I reduce this further?
Yes.
Yeah, what are they both divisible by? 4. By 2 or by 4? Which one do you want to do? By 4? All right. What's 4 divided by 4?
1.
And 8 divided by 4?
2.
2. Is that my final answer?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, as Chance had told us, though, 16 and 32 are both divisible by 16. So you could have just did it in this one step here, and you would have got the same answer. We also could have kept just dividing it and simplifying it by reducing it by 2s. We would have eventually got to 1/2. We could have reduced this right here by 8 instead of by 2s. It doesn't matter what numbers you choose to reduce it by, as long as you're reducing it by the correct numbers and you end up with the correct answer, okay? All right, next one. This is one of my favorites. I love brackets with parentheses. They're so much fun. So I thought I was a mess today. You might just beat me. So the first one is 3 times, so we have our bracket, 10 minus 27 divided by 9. Where do I start with this particular problem?
27 divided by 9.
All right, 27 divided by 9, which is?
3.
Okay, so I'm going to rewrite 3 bracket 10 minus 27 divided by 9. We said that's 3. Do I need to bring that down in parentheses?
Yes.
Do I?
No.
I don't have to, and the only reason why I don't have to, because I don't have any exponents behind it to worry about. And the 10's not multiplying that number, so I can just go ahead and just drop the parentheses in this particular problem. Now, if there's an exponent behind there, I could not. All right? Riley, what do I do next? Which equals? 7. Now, when I bring the 7 down, what do I have to make sure I put around it? Parentheses or brackets, it doesn't matter. Because we're going to bring that 3, because that 3 is being multiplied by the answer of 10 minus 3. And my final step, what am I going to get for my final answer here, Josh?
21.
3 times 7.
Which is?
21.
Perfect. And my last opener question here. 22 divided by 11 times 9 minus 3 squared. Ben, can you tell me where to start?
It does, or like, I don't know, carrot top too.
Say what?
Oh, I call it carrot top too.
Okay, what's carrot top 2? What does that mean?
It's a small two behind the fruit.
Okay, so that's going to be 3 squared, which equals?
-9 or 9.
Nice. All right. You can read that sloppy handwriting there. What's the next step that I do here, Dylan?
22 divided by 11.
Good. Now, why wouldn't you do, because in PEMDAS, the M comes before the D, but so why did you choose to divide first? You did it right.
Left to right.
Whichever comes first, right? Good. So 22 divided by 11.
2.
So I bring down my 2 times 9 minus 9. Now what? Anybody?
Multiply.
Which is?
9, 18.
Bring down my minus 9. Final answer?
9.